afternoon and welcome to the Abhijit Talk Show. Today it's a pleasure for me and honor for me that we have two stalwarts from the education industry. It's an honor because I am a student of them. They have taught me engineering for 3 long years in my diploma in automobile engineering in the year 1987 to 1990. I've learned a lot from them and would like to pay my respects and regards to both of them. And they are Professor Sridhar Vaidya and Professor Rajendra Dhawade. Let me welcome both of them on this episode today. Before we get into the real questions, let me give you a brief introduction of Professor Vaidya. Professor Vaidya comes with a rich educational background. He is a Bachelor's of Engineering in Mechanical. He is a Master's of Computer Applications and he is a Bachelor's of Law. So you see the varied education that he has done. Apart from that, he has been an ex-Senate member of the Shivaji University. Let me also tell you that in all the 3 streams, he has topped the university. Also, he is a secretary of TAFNAP. Now, what is TAFNAP? It's the Teachers Association for the non-aided colleges. Yeah, the Maharashtra State Association, wherein they help the unaided colleges, staff members, non-staff members, students, parents to resolve the issues which are presently going on. And we are going to talk about this also to them in our discussions today. I would like to give you a brief introduction of Professor Rajendra Dhawade, and due respects to him, he's been a wonderful person, and he's whatever I am today is because of both of them. So Professor Dhawade comes with a Bachelor's of Engineering in the Metallurgy stream, and he's done his Diploma in Business Management from the Cyber College of Management, Kolhapur. He also has been with the college, New Polytechnic Kolhapur, for last 35 years, and he has done a major contribution towards the students' learning. He also was an ex-Senate member of the Shivaji University, and he is currently the president of TAFNAP. His contributions to this entire institution has been marvelous, and I must thank both of them for finding out time and coming here and talking to us. So over to you, Professor Dhawade and Professor Vaidya. I would request Professor Vaidya to start. Thank you.
Zero to you, Professor Vaidya.
Abhijit, really it's my pleasure to be a part of your show, which is being viewed across a large section of society, and it's a very popular show. And secondly, it gives me a great pleasure to participate in a show which is hosted by my student. So that is a special, you can say, joy for me. Abhijit, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Over to you, Professor Dhawade.
So I am very pleased to meet you after a long time, that too on this e-media, and I'm very much joyful to have a meeting with you, particularly with so much experience. After getting so much experience, I think you can be a teacher to us.
I'm so much honored by your words, Professor Dhawade. Thank you so much for that honor. So we without wasting any time, we start with our questions today. Our viewers are eagerly waiting for the discussion to go on. So the first question is to Professor Dhawade, Professor Vaidya, I'm sorry. And I would like to ask you, since we come from the fraternity of automobile engineering, and you have been the professor with New Polytechnic for such a long time, what do you think is the future scope for the diploma holders of our college, or in general the automobile engineering, Professor Vaidya?
Well, automobile engineering, or in general, you can say automobile is the backbone of Indian nation. So, lot of scope in lot of areas is there. Even in this COVID area, in this COVID situation, also lot of scope is there for automobile engineers. 15% of GDP is given by this automobile industry, and it is not only manufacturing or selling. Service industry plays an important role, and these automobile engineering students, they will find job opportunities or maybe entrepreneurship opportunities either in manufacturing or supplying the various components of automobile, mainly service oriented industry. So plenty of scope is there for automobile engineers, and a lot of demand is also there for automobile engineers.
Absolutely. My next question to Vaidya sir, you is in the present situation, that we are in, the pandemic situation that we are in this situation, what is the scope in future? Because things have been changing. So what do you think the scope for the diploma holders is?
I think this corona is a blessing for automobile industry. If you see the April sale, it is almost zero for all the automobile manufacturers.
Right.
So it's time for them to change a gear. So Corona has given them sufficient time to change their policies, to change their manufacturing setup, to implement automation, further automation, to implement Industry 4.0 norms. So Corona has really given an opportunity. Otherwise, automobile industry never stops. And this epidemic, it has stopped the industry for almost 2 months. April sale is almost zero. So I will say this is a blessing in a disguise.
Wow.
That is my.
I completely agree with you, and second your thoughts on this, that this is a great opportunity for the students to improve themselves and grow and get ready for the next revolution in the auto industry. So thank you, Vaidya sir, for this input. My next question is to Dhavde sir. And sir, what do you think are the job opportunities for these students, and where do you think are the job opportunities? Dhavde sir.
So the course of automobile engineering is equivalent to mechanical engineering.
Right.
So DAE is equivalent to DME, and it has job opportunities in government sector, private sector, defense sector, and a new field like insurance, surveyor, and banking.
Yes.
Okay. So in government jobs, in addition to conventional RTO department, there are vacancies in health department for maintenance of vehicles and equipments. Then there is PWD, irrigation, police department, power generating stations, in railways, locomotives as pilot, and in maintenance department, in aviation sector, the geological and mining survey, and army. These are the government sectors where an automobile engineer can get job directly after completion of diploma in automobile engineering.
Wow.
In private sectors, there is huge opening for automotive dealership in sales department, service department, and stores department. In engineering industries like say Tata, Mahindra, Ford, etc., there are so many vacancies at the shop floor level, because being equivalent to mechanical engineering, the automobile engineers are well conversant with CNC, VMC, EDM, press shops, foundries, forgings, ferrous and non-ferrous fabrications, chemical factories. Wherever maintenance of machinery is required, automobile engineer will have demand. Then, if he is interested in design field, that is office type work, then he should be conversant with AutoCAD, CATIA Vision, or SolidWorks softwares, or ANSYS like softwares. He can have job in design fields also. And a new field which is going to come up within next decade is insurance surveyors, wherever accident claims are required. The automobile engineers are in demand. And in banking sector, now you know the problem of NPA, which
Yes.
is because of the valuation was done by incompetent people. So now the mechanical engineers and automobile engineers are in great demand even in banking sectors for valuation of the machinery while disbursing loan to the concerned party.
Okay. Wow. I mean, I'm really surprised that there is so much of scope for an automobile engineer and in the government sectors as well. I mean, thank you for that insight, Dave sir, because I believe when we passed out and we did our engineering, we were not aware, or at that time there was no so much of scope available for the students. But now, since the industry has opened up and so much of scope has increased, I mean, you've given me number of sectors and number of departments where an automobile engineer can be actually fitted in. So I think that insight is a great insight for the viewers and for the upcoming students who would who would enroll in our program in New Polytechnic. So thank you so much for that insight. Uh, my next question is again to you. Now there are a lot of students who pass out the diploma, get into a degree program, and post the degree program. Now post the degree program, what do you think will be the scope for them? I mean, is it the same that you said just now, or will it be something different?
So, Abhijit, is it a question to me?
Yes, it is for you, Dave sir.
Yeah. So after degree program,
Yeah.
again the demand for engineers is in particularly design sector.
Right.
Because in manufacturing sector, the skills acquired by diploma engineers are sufficient enough to handle the department of production, and therefore degree engineers are in great demand, particularly at the head of service department, at the head of marketing, and from top to bottom positions in design departments.
Okay. Great. So can I have another view of Vaidya sir on the same question? Vaidya sir?
Yeah, I am having a slightly different view.
Yes.
Few days before, 2-3 days before,
Yeah.
our Prime Minister, he has announced Atmanirbhar India. He has
Right.
used that particular word.
Absolutely. Yes.
And India can be Atmanirbhar only on the strength of engineers.
Right.
Engineers, they are the creators of world. And what I would suggest to the future generation of the engineers, instead of going for a job, searching for a job, which will be day by day, it will be difficult with the coming automation and industry 4.0 and artificial intelligence and everything. Getting a job will be very difficult. So don't go behind the job. You start your own enterprise. You become an entrepreneur. And more the engineers become entrepreneurs. Well, this Atma Nirbhar India, that dream will come into reality. So I would suggest all the future engineers not to go for a job, but let them dream that I will be an entrepreneur. I will be the owner of my own. That is my suggestion.
Wow. Having two different suggestions from two different stalwarts of the education industry is something which people are going to like, and I completely agree and approve of both of these statements that the scope lies in either becoming an entrepreneur or trying to do something on your own. So this is the message that goes to the people across India, across the world, in fact. Yeah. So that takes me to the next question. I mean, people typically, when they want to join in a college, in a diploma or an engineering college, yeah, the challenge with them is how to select a college. How do I select a best college? Okay, now there are two things. One is a best college and one is a good college. So how do you select a best or a good college? So this question is to Vaidya sir.
now maybe this time the exams are slightly delayed.
Yes.
But the students, after the CET is over, the students, they will start searching for engineering career, and obviously the question in the minds of the students and parents will be, what are the parameters to select a good institute where his ward can make a career? All the times I would suggest to the parents and all the students that the soul of the institute is their teachers. So whichever institute that you shortlist, first thing that you verify whether competent, I'm again repeating, competent and experienced teachers are there to teach the students. Because if the teachers are not competent, if they are not experienced, every year if the new teachers are recruited, then there is no point, there is no learning at all. So teacher is the soul of the institute. So don't just go by the glamour, experienced teacher to teach the students. Secondly, after verifying these teachers, secondly, the parents and students, they should verify, or I would suggest, the best ambassador of any institute is its alumni, pass out students. So if you want to know anything about the institute, just don't go by the glamorous office or a very attractive prospectus. Go to any pass out student and ask him, what do you feel about automobile engineering department of New Polytechnic? If he says, I made my career in automobile engineering department of New Polytechnic, well, that is the true feedback and that is the true criteria for selecting an institute. So two major parameters. First, experienced teachers and what the alumni says about that particular department or about that particular institute. Based on these two important feedbacks, the parent and students, they can take a proper decision.
Wow, I completely agree to what you say, because a lot of students do give me a call, or some of my the past students of my classmates who are my classmates. They also, we discuss sometimes on the students giving them a call whether New Polytechnic is a good college or is one of the best college. And we being the proud students of the college, we always approve of, please go ahead. I mean, do give our references to Professor Vaidya and Professor Dhavde, and it's one of the best college. That is what we do. And you're absolutely right. It depends on the professors and the teaching staff, which are more important from the education perspective for their growth in the college and in future, for the future. So thank you so much for that insight, Vaidya sir. But the next question that arises immediate in my mind is sometimes it is, the fees are different for different colleges. Now it could be a college which is a good college where the fees are very high. It could be one of the best colleges in that in the state, and the fees are still higher than the good colleges. So how do you create this gap? How do you reduce the gap and find out in terms of what fees needs to be given? So any thoughts about that, Vaidya sir?
Let us understand what is the mechanism which decides the tuition fee for a particular institute.
Okay.
The government and the Supreme Court, they have created one agency which will decide the tuition fee for any institute, and that agency is called as Shikshan Shulka Samiti, Fee Regulatory Authority. It is a constitutional authority which decides the tuition fee of all the professional institutes in the state. And that tuition fee is decided based on the expenses that are incurred by the institute. The institute, they have to give all the details of expenses, that is the expenses on salary, expenses on infrastructure, expenses on equipments, and based on whatever the expenses that are submitted to the fee regulatory authority, the fee regulatory authority checks all the things, and they finally come out with the figure. This is the fee applicable to a particular institute. So there is no question institute having high fee is a good institute or having low fee is a bad institute. It is up to the fee regulatory authority. That authority decides if any institute is charging more than whatever that has been decided by Shikshan Shulka Samiti, then certainly the parents and students, they can file a complaint. And that data is available on the website of the fee regulatory authority. What is the tuition fee approved by fee regulatory authority for a particular institute? Secondly, you can say in current situation, around 70-75% students, they get government aid in various forms. For SC, ST candidates, the fee is almost negligible, ranging between 1,000 to 5,000. For economically backward classes, around 50%. For OBC, minority, around 50% concession is given. So a lot of concession and encouragement is given by government so that the students they can opt for engineering career. So around 75% students they learn engineering courses on government funding, I will say. So tuition fee need not be a major hurdle for the students or parents in current scenario. That is my opinion.
Okay, all right. So what you're trying to say is for selection of a fees. I mean, it is better that students look at the fee, the institute that you spoke of, and basis that they try and select the college. Is that what you're saying? To summarize in a nutshell.
No, the fee is not at all a criteria for a selection
criteria.
of any
Absolutely.
institute.
Yes.
Having a higher fee is a better institute, it may not be true all the times. So fee is not a criteria. I told you the teaching staff, that is one. Experienced teaching staff, that is one. And what the alumni says. If the alumni is saying something good of the institute, that means certainly that institute is a good institute. Whether the fee is high or low, it is
Or
immaterial.
It is immaterial. Okay. Great. Again, thank you for that insight, Vaidya sir. I think that gives a lot of food for thought for people to think and get back to the institutes which are good and which are the best, not in terms of the fees, but in terms of the professors, the teaching staffs, and the alumni who has passed out. Now, the alumni who has passed out, what is the alumni doing? That also makes a larger impact, right? Because
Right. That is
all
also
the teachings from the professors inculcated in the students, that is how the students are developed, and they are in the places where they are now. So they could be in senior positions, they could be in mid-level management. So that is all because of the teachings from the professors. I think that also point would be a criteria for the selection. Correct me if I'm
very
wrong.
true.
I would
Very
like
true.
to add one more
Very
point, Abhijit.
Please,
Abhijit,
Gaurav
I
sir.
would like to add one more point
Please, sir.
to this discussion, that if you go to institutes, even now you can inquire how many students have started their own businesses
Yes,
or self-employed. That is also important factor nowadays.
absolutely.
So
Very true.
if you consider New Polytechnic, nearly 25 to 30% of our students are self-employed or started their own businesses in various fields.
Yes.
So that is also another factor which is going to be considered within next decade.
Yes. I am proud to say that I am one of them. So you can always vouch and say that yes, Abhijit
we
is
are also proud
always
of
proud
you.
of you, sir. We are always
Thank you
proud
for
of you.
that. Thank you for that. Now that takes me to another point of discussion, which is now which becomes an important aspect of the discussion that we are having. See, to get a better job in after a diploma in engineering, right now, whether it is the old situation or whether it is the present situation, what do you think are the skills that are required for being for getting a good job or starting an entrepreneurship, as you mentioned? So what do you think are the skills that are required? Now this question is to both of you. I would like Davde sir to answer this first, and then we'll move on to the Vaidya sir.
Sure.
So,
Okay. Very nice question and very important question in this discussion. So there are so many qualities and soft skills which are required for a good automotive engineer or competent automotive engineer. So I will summarize one by one. The fundamental knowledge of each component and system used in automobile engineering, observation skill, ability to differentiate sound. So this is particularly useful in maintenance or garages, because 50% of the complaints, the customer complaints are that यहाँ से आवाज आ रहा है, वहां से आवाज आ रहा है, मैं टर्न लेता हूँ जब आवाज
Absolutely.
आता है,
Absolutely.
when I am ascending the slope, engine makes some different noise. So your ability to differentiate sound is very important. Analytical skill, logical thinking, your listening skills, because you should be able to listen to the customer's complaint completely,
Absolutely.
and then you should analyze it. Your problem solving skills, your command over e-media and mobile and emails, your motor skill, that is motor skill means not motor driving skill, but
Absolutely.
ability to control your movements,
Right.
because there are so many components. While dismantling, you have to apply different force, different positions. Sometimes you have to work in clumsy or congested spaces, so
Right.
that motor skill is also important. Then photographic memory is also important. This is useful when assembling and dismantling of various vehicles and systems and components. Reading ability, excellent oral communication, thorough understanding of safety standards.
Wow.
Then your ability to decide the priority and plan accordingly. Adaptability and attitude towards change.
Right.
Then good work ethics.
Right.
Your ability to work in team, that is team spirit, that is also important.
Yes.
And if you are in design field, then you should have sound base of AutoCAD and working knowledge of some modeling and ANSYS software for small finite element analysis.
Right. Right.
Then Autolisp, SolidWorks, Katia Vision.
Right.
So knowledge of these softwares is also very
Becomes
important.
Wow.
And if you are in manufacturing, then CAM, NextCam, these type of skills are also important. And another most important thing is he should have interest in electronics and computers also, because mechatronics is the core of the automobile engineering in
Yes.
coming decade.
Absolutely.
So he should have interest in electronics and computers also. That is, IoT is the next thing which is going to come up.
Absolutely. 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 Great. I think that's a huge list of the skills and competencies that are required for for moving up into the careers and doing a great job for the students. So I think that was a great insight, Dave sir. Can I request Vaidya sir
Abhijit,
to?
one more thing.
Yes, sir. Please.
Excuse me, Abhijit. One more
Please,
point,
sir. Please,
that
sir.
I have enlisted so many skills and qualities that does not mean that students don't have it. Up to 10th or 12th,
Correct.
almost 80% of those qualities are already developed.
Yes.
80% of the qualities are already developed. Only 20% of qualities which have to be developed, those will be developed during the course of diploma engineering.
Absolutely, you have nailed it, Professor Dave. You have nailed the entire. You've summarized the entire discussion here. So great, but I would like to hear some more inputs from Vaidya sir.
Yeah. In general, I will say not only for automobile engineering, in general for engineering field, as we say, engineers, they are the creators of work. Engineer all the times, he should, all throughout his life, he should be a learner first. He should ready to learn new things. So learning should be his motive, and he should be a learner all his life. In the current scenario after COVID and Corona, what I would suggest to the fresh graduates coming out from various institutes, import substitute is an area where the engineers they should concentrate on. Billions of dollars is the our import and export deficit is there, and billions of dollars, that deficit means billions of dollars they are going to some other countries. So, and India is not India is in, I don't say now it is a developing country, it is almost, it is on the path of developed country. India can manufacture there, we have all the intelligence, we have all the manufacturing facilities. So import substitute should be another area where the engineers specifically they should concentrate, so that our country can become self-sufficient. So that is my advice. You implement your knowledge of engineering and do some import substituting thing.
Wow, wow! I think this is again a great insight for from both of you. See, the advantage of having both of you on this discussion forum or the interview that I'm having is I'm getting two different views from stalwarts, and these both the views are important for the students, for the upcoming students, and who have already passed out also probably 2 or 3 years, which will add a lot of value to them. Whatever you said now, as Davde sir mentioned, one important aspect was 80% is already there in students, 20% is what is developed in the diploma college, and secondly, what you mentioned, yeah. So both these things put together go hand in hand. uh, I have many questions to ask you and many more discussions to come up. With accordance to the time, I am just wanting to continue with the episode, with the second episode, in a few moments from now. Keep watching this channel, keep watching the Abhijit Talk Show, and you will get a lot of insight or more on from the two stalwarts on education and the automobile engineering. So keep watching, and I will be there in a while from now. Thank you, Professor Davde and Professor Vaidya. Zero.